to this evening's virtual and health and wellbeing event. It is all part of the Everything Starts with Milk campaign in association with the European Milk Forum and the National Dairy Council. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, wherever you are now, it is your opportunity for the next hour to get as much as you can out of it, whether it's around fitness, performance, we're going to have some recipe ideas to get you started and all on your way to your wellness journey. We're going to have some experts here. They're going to give you their own experience and also give you some tips and tricks along the way. What do you need? Well, it's very simple. Some comfortable gear, a little bit of space, and maybe even rope all of your family and friends into. We're going to get you moving and we're going to get some food demos on a little bit later on. But let's get started. Our first session this evening is with the one and only, the multi-talented Greg O'Shea. Greg, you're very welcome.
Thanks very much for having me, Anna.
Just to let everybody know, of course, Greg is an Irish Sevens rugby player. He is also a weight loss coach. He's studying for law exams at the moment, and you might remember him actually as well from Love Island. Yeah, that's him right there. He was the winner of the ITV hit show Love Island. Greg, you're very welcome. How's everything? Thanks. You've got a brace on at the moment.
I do. I have a brace on now. It looks very dramatic, and it's my reason for not actually doing the hit session, but I put it together. I'm looking forward to getting people moving at home. Yeah, jack of all trades, as you were mentioning there, but a master of none.
Not at all, not at all. Multi-talented.
Yes.
So talk to people a little bit about the hit session and what they can expect.
So a hit session is just a quick synopsis of it. People have this misconception that you need to be doing these big, long sessions, hour-long sessions, out doing 10Ks, 5Ks, whatever it is. Yeah. No. It's much more simple than that. If your goal is to lose weight, which I'm trained up in, you're a PT yourself, so you're probably a little bit more expertise than me. But basically, all you need to do is 2 to 3, maybe 15-minute sessions a week. Get your heart rate right up, and you can do it in your living room. You don't need to be signing up to gyms and all this stuff. You can do it in your living room with toddlers all the way up to grandparents and have a bit of fun with it. So I kind of put through a couple of minute sessions here, or a couple of minutes of a session here. One of my mates is going to do it and we'll have a bit of fun.
And that's what's great about it, I think, is people don't need a whole pile of time. You don't need to be in a gym. You don't even need equipment. You're going to give people the opportunity to be able to do this in their sitting rooms, in their living rooms, in their back gardens.
Yeah, people think they need all these equipments to work hard, but like your body weight is just enough weight to make yourself work hard. You know that, I know that. So we'll have fun, and it's easy to do anywhere in the world.
Well, something that I actually love is those hit sessions, because if you only have 15 minutes, you can do it in 15 minutes and it's brilliant. It gets your heart rate up. For me, it's all about that endorphin buzz. And like, you don't even, like, if you're doing press ups or you're doing squats or you're running on the spot for 30 seconds, you get your heart rate up, you burn the calories, and you're just in a better mood for the day.
Exactly. If I haven't trained for like 2-3 days, which happened when I first hurt myself here, I just start getting a bit mentally weird. I get a bit grumpy. I'm not myself. I even want to be...
You heard it here first. He gets grumpy.
I wouldn't even want to be around me. And then all I do is go to a quick session, if it was just upper body, and automatically I feel better. Like, so.
And for people, they're at home a lot more now, and they mightn't have access to gyms, and they mightn't even want to go to gyms. So this is something now that they can do right in their living room.
Exactly, yeah.
Well,
100%.
let's bring in Tinga right now. You're going to be put through the hard paces. He's going to be telling you exactly what to do.
Looking forward to it.
So he's in better shape than me, and he's better looking than me, so 100% he's the right guy for the job.
I'm going to refrain from commenting on anything that you're going to say right now. So talk to us a little bit about what we're going to do to get started.
Okay, so it's a quick, easy one. I've kind of broken it up into 3 different parts, so I'll talk you through it first before we make you work. So the first part is on the legs. So we're doing 3 different variants of squats, normal squats, and then we're doing squat jumps, and then we're going to hold the squat, and I'll give you variations as we go through it, because there's different levels of fitness, of course. And then the next after that, we're attacking the shoulders. So we're going to do plank moves, or moving plank, whatever you like to call it. There's all different names for it. And then we're going to do shoulder taps and press ups. So shoulders will be burning, the legs will have been burned, and then we're going into a bit of moving into mountain climbers, reverse lunges, and burpees to finish.
Wow.
You got to finish with some burpees.
Now, just to remind people as well, ease yourself into this. You are taking part if you haven't done a warm up. Hopefully some of you have. And this will also be on replay as well if you want to catch it later in the week. And if you just want to watch it for now, you can go to www.ndc.ie to catch all of this. And if you want to rope a few more friends, or maybe you want to do it multiple times, you absolutely can do that too. So let's get started. Over to you guys.
Yeah, so Tinga's nicely warmed up. So what we're going to start with is the squats, the legs. So we're going to go for 10 normal squats first, as if you're just sitting onto a chair. You can actually take a chair over and sit onto one. If you're struggling, sit onto the couch and get yourself back up again. So 10 of them. Nice steps, great technique out here at Tinga. Better than me with my one leg. And after that, we're going to go straight into squat jumps. So 10 of them. But if you're not able to squat jumps at home, just keep doing your normal squats. You'll be 2 sets of 10 rather than squat jumps, because these are quite intense. And after you do 10 squat jumps, we're going into 10-second hold, as if you're sitting on that chair. Your legs are burning now, are they?
Oh, feel the burn.
Yeah, good stuff. You count yourself to 10, so say you're about 5 seconds in there now. And when you get down to 0, we're going to move into the upper body part of it. So we're going to go down to the ground, and you start to a normal plank, elbows, and you're going to move up into locked out arms. Yes, brilliant. Yeah.
Wow.
You can even move your hands to try and get up there if you want to make it a bit easier, and then back down. Yeah. And you're trying to keep it straight back the whole time. I'll try to stay away because of COVID, but it's straight back the whole time, as if you have a glass of milk on your back. You don't want to spill it. Okay. And then you do 10 reps of them. We're going to stay up. Yeah, and then shoulder taps. You know exactly what's coming up. So stay locked arms and just tap each shoulder. But try and keep your trunk strong and tight the whole time. Tray of milk on your back. Don't spill it. Okay. And 10 reps of that. When you're finished there, you're going to go into 10 press-ups. But if you can't do press-ups at home, normal full ones, put your knees on the ground and just keep that straight angle from your spine down to your knees, okay? He's well able for it, so modify it to suit you. And after that, we're going to go into, you stand straight back up, yeah, you got up, and then we're going to go into the movement one. So we're going into mountain climbers. You know mountain climbers? Yeah. So in all fours, we're going to go for 20 reps. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're trying to drive the heart rate up here now, get the body flowing, get the blood flowing. After 20 of them, we're going to go into reverse lunges, okay? So 5 each leg of reverse lunges when you're done your 20 mountain climbers. So the heart rate should be starting to go.
We're really putting things through his face here. I feel very guilty just standing around watching.
Exactly, yeah. So reverse lunges is brilliant, 5 each leg. Remember, technique this whole time. We're not injuring ourselves. We need to work hard, but keep our technique right, because otherwise we'll be into the physio and we don't want that.
I have a few questions, but I'm going to wait until we go through one round first.
And then straight after that, we're going into burpees. So this is the finisher. This is tough. So chest to the ground and then jump up. That's it. Good stuff. That's 2.
I won't lie, I'm a glutton for punishment. I love burpees.
I know, good
They're
work.
a full body workout.
That's it. It's hit everything. We've hit the legs, we've hit the arms, and now we're getting the heart rate up and doing whole body. I've lost count. I think that's 6, is it?
Excellent stuff.
Yeah. Good work.
Keep going. You're the hard taskmaster, but you're doing great.
Good technique. Keep going.
So for anyone at home as well, you do what you can. You obviously have to bear in mind your own levels and fitness too, and your own injuries.
100%. So take a couple of seconds there just to gather your breath. I didn't give assigned rest time because everyone's different fitness level back home. So if you need 5 minutes to recover and go again, do that. If you need 10 seconds, do that. Yeah. So whenever you gather your breath again, we'll go again. But that's kind of an overall hit, upper body, lower body.
And like for a lot of people, you could do that 10 times if you want to extend your HIIT session out to 30 minutes, or you could maybe do it 2 or 3 times if you only have 10 minutes.
Exactly, yeah. So I've kind of generally prescribed 3. So we're done 1 there now, so we're going to go for 2 more of them. And how did you find the first set?
It's good stuff. Gets the heart rate going.
Really? Yeah. So
there's beads of perspiration, so he's working hard. He is working hard.
He is working hard, yeah.
He's earning his glass of milk afterwards, that's for sure, innit?
So we're just sitting here having a stuff of glass of milk. But you can have one of these after as recovery, am I right?
But just for people now that might be looking at this and they might, for some reason, might be able to do squats, is there anything that you would swap it out for? We'll say, is there anything that they could add in maybe if they need to swap out one of these exercises?
Yeah, exactly. So I was saying the squats are quite an intense movement. So people are usually sitting on the couch or sitting down having their dinner. Just sit on the chair and stand yourself back up. That's a squat. It's the exact perfect movement, and it's the safety of the chair if you do fall over, and it gives you the proper movement for your spine as well. So obviously this guy's trained up, and we're trained up ourselves, so we're able to do technique, but that's where you build up from there.
And it is about functional movement, isn't it? I mean, a squat is essentially getting out of a chair, getting out of a car. So it is mimicking the everyday movements. You know, if, whether you're, like for here, even if you're down playing with your kids, you need to get off the floor. Yeah,
exactly. So this one as well, as I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, is not everyone can do the perfect push-up just yet, obviously, because it's actually a tough, really tough movement to do. So what you do is put your knees on the ground and work yourself up from there. So
Tinga's working really hard.
Tinga's working hard, yeah. Good work.
Now this is this is the ideal. This is how it's meant to be done. But if you need to take breaks as well in between them, you know what? You push yourself as hard as you can.
Good work. I'm very proud of you, man. I'm sorry I made you do this and I don't have to do it. I don't even need this brace. This is all fake.
You know what? If anybody, he doesn't even need the brace. It's only pretend because he knew he was going to be doing the HIIT session this evening with us.
Yeah, no. I have an MCL tear in the inside of my leg, so that's how I can get away with it. But my mate here is helping me out.
Do you find it easier then, when you're doing HIIT sessions like this, to have somebody with you, just for a natural bit of competitiveness, to make sure that you push yourself that slight bit more?
100%. I always train better with someone, but some people prefer training by themselves, which is okay too. Good work, my man.
Nice.
Unreal.
He doesn't need anybody with him. He is ready to go on his own.
I always love the the competition of training with someone, because you always work a little bit harder, I feel, and keeps you motivated. So that's why I love the team sport and getting back with the boys. Unfortunately, I'm going to be in the physio room by myself for a while, but when I get back to the boys, I can't wait for it. So that's 2 rounds. I think that's enough for you, my man. You're now working hard.
You are smiling. How did you find it? Like, do you find that what does it do to your energy and your mood?
It really brings up my heart rate, which gets my endorphins flowing. As you can tell, my breath is ready
Yeah,
gone.
I shouldn't have made you speak. That was really nasty of me to do that.
But it's an easy way to get the work in, even from home.
Yeah, and even if you have 5 minutes, you saw how quick that was. You'll feel all the better after it.
That's exactly what we wanted as well. Get the heart rate up and your body starts flowing. You get the endorphins. You start burning the right areas. Perfect. Well done. Good work. Great technique as well.
Tinga, Greg, well done. You've definitely deserved your glass of milk. He's there sipping milk right now, so you can head away off there and cool off. Thank you so much. We'll see you a little bit later.
Get yourself a glass of milk for recovery afterwards. 100%.
Well, right now, though, we are going to hear a little bit more from our sponsors. I think you're all going to want a glass of milk after this. Thank you so much for staying with us. You might be out of breath. Hopefully that you enjoyed that HIIT session there. It just shows you just how fun and accessible exercise can be. Now for our second session with the powerful, the talented and the humble Boxer Supreme, Kelly Harrington. I feel like giving you a clap right here. I'm actually in awe just standing here. I mean, I could go down through the list of credentials that Kelly has. When you're talking like world champion in the lightweight division, you medalled at the European Olympics, the European Union Championships, the Europeans. I mean, what you haven't done. And now, of course, you're in training. I know Tokyo it's a long way off, but you are hoping for that Olympic qualification.
Yeah, well, at the moment we're tipping away, ticking all the boxes nicely. So the big picture is the qualifiers. So hopefully get a qualification and head to Tokyo in 2021, please God.
And it's, I suppose, for you even being involved in the Everything Starts with Milk campaign, you know more than anybody the importance of having that nutrition built into your day to make sure you can perform as best you can, even in training.
Yeah, well, like they say, it's 70% nutrition and the rest is your exercise and your skill and everything. So yeah, you gotta look after that end of it more than you look after your training. And you were training today? How's everything going? Yeah, good. I was out training in the institute with the team. Luckily, on the team, I actually have a club mate on the team as well. So we were working together out there today. So yeah, it's good to get it in. Well, it's really good to say that because I'm hoping everybody at home, you're not just doing this on your own. Get your housemate in, get your family in, even get the dog in, and you want to have a little bit of a boxing session. Because what I love about this, what you're going to show people is some basic boxing techniques. You don't need boxing gloves. You don't even need to be in a ring. You don't need any gym equipment that you can do. It from a chair. Like, I'm going to just take a little bit, like with legs. We're going to start from the legs up. But if you're at home and you're sitting in a chair and you can't get up out of a chair, you can sit down because I'm going to start throwing some punches, some combinations. So you can stay in your chair and you can do it. And like I said the other day, everyone deserves to know how to throw a good punch from the comfort of their chair. But it's all in us, isn't it? And I suppose for a lot of people, they've always loved the idea of being able to box. I mean, I did it myself a few months ago. I started my very first session. And let me tell you, Kelly, and everyone at home, it was so technical. It was like driving a car. There's so many different things to remember. Like there's the hands, there's the footwork, there's your eyes. You're always having to think 1 or 2 steps ahead. And then you've the opponent that's coming straight at you with a punch as well. For people now at home, before we get stuck in, like what are the things for them to remember before they take up boxing or even before they do this? Well, like if you're going to take up boxing and you're going to start getting into boxing, I would... The key tips for me is your shape, basically. Now, we're not going to get too technically into it today, but for today, we're going to stand square. But your hands are obviously up, so you can protect yourself at all times. If your hands are down, you're open, okay? So hands up, elbows in, and chin down, nice and relaxed, and try not to be stiff. Because the more you're stiff, that takes you're burning energy and you're too stiff then, so nice and relaxed and just let them flow. Well, let's get straight into it now. Just let's enjoy it. You've already given people the stance, so let's get stuck into what you're going to do with us today. So talk us through it. So we're going to start from the legs up, okay? So I'm just going to turn side on so you can see my feet. So we're just going to move forward and we're going to turn around. So you're going to lean forward, kick back, okay? leaning forward and kicking back. So as you can see, you don't need a whole lot of space to do this. You can do it at home, in your living room. You can do it in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, from there now, we're on the spot. Lean back, kick forward. Lean forward, kick back. Legs out to the side. Come with me, lean forward, lean back, lean forward, out to the side. All right, now you're going to bring your heels up. So just get them up there. So if you can't bring your heels up, just move them like that, okay? So if you can't jog it out, just like so. All right, so keep moving. That's it, nice and relaxed.
I mean, for a lot of people, you could even use this as this warm-up before even that you go into the session that we just did with Greg. So it's so versatile.
Yeah, like you can use it before that, or you can use
as a workout yourself.
But nice and relaxed. If you're going to come off that, you want to nice and relaxed.
Yeah.
All right, and you're going to shake it out then. Now a little one, right? It can be a little tricky, so we'll only do a little bit of it. Is cross one foot behind and cross it over. Cross
I used
behind,
to do this as a warm-up when I was playing camogie, and it's quite complicated. It looks like it's a bit of a dancing step, so if we ever get back to the nightclubs again, you could be doing this. Do you know what I mean? People be like, look at you've got the moves. But it's really good to open up those hips, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and even your chest, because you're moving your arms as well. And like I said, look, it doesn't take a whole lot of
it's like you're dancing
space. All right, from there, just move your hips around. Shake your hips like a bag of chips.
I know it.
So just moving them out and moving forward and back, and then go back the other way, okay? That's it.
And people of all ages and all abilities can do this.
Yeah, this is like nice and flexible, nice and relaxed. You don't have to overdo it or anything. Just nice and easy. From there, on the spot, roll your shoulders around, okay? And again, you can sit on the chair, so if you're sitting down, move your shoulders.
That's impressive, because that's just a free squat right there.
So just rolling them, okay? And then back the other way. Trying to bring your hands in by your ears, okay? Nice and relaxed.
And even people talk about like mindfulness and meditation. This is actually a form of that, because he said you're slowing down, you're focusing on your breathing,
and you're
just taking time to move. Yeah.
Bring your arms in and out. So you're like, for me, coming training or doing an exercise, I don't think about what's going on in the outside world.
Yeah, because you have to focus on your technique and everything you're doing.
Yeah, it's left at the door and back the other way. It's left at the door, so you're just thinking about the present really and what you're doing.
Because I find that's really good. I struggle with things like mindfulness and meditation, but I find exercise and even stretching is really good for me, just to focus and bring me back to the present moment.
And that's exactly it. And that's what exercise is all about. It's about being able to step away from what you're doing all day and step into something that's about you, okay? Now, from there, we're just going to go side to side, okay? So bring your hands up, close your hands. This is called a fist, all right, as you already know. But this is a proper fist for punching, okay? No thumbs out there. Thumbs are in, all right?
Oh, yeah.
And just side to side like so. Nice and easy. Don't overdo it, all right?
That's a small thing, but important, I would imagine, in boxing, where your thumb is.
Yeah. And what I want you to do now is bring your hands to your chest and walk forward and back, opposite hand, opposite leg. That can be a little bit tricky, all right? A little bit of coordination.
People think...
Let's see. So it's opposite hand, opposite foot, okay? So, yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of thinking in that.
Same hand, same
foot.
A lot of thinking, like. All right? So just shake it out. So now we're going to get to the fun part. We're going to start throwing a few combinations, okay? So we'll just start loosening out by just throwing. Like I said, if you're in your seat, you can do it, all right? So I see Greg now is sitting over there. So Greg, let's see what you're made of.
Just because he's got a sore leg doesn't mean he can't move that upper body.
So nice and relaxed, right? Shake that out there, okay? Now, if you want to just move on your feet like that, you can. We're going to start with a left, left, right, okay? So you're going to go left, left, right. So left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right. Turn them up. Get those knuckles right down.
I feel like I'm getting into it with you. I'm like, I'm standing beside Kelly Harrington. Like, how do you not want a box?
Left, left, right. One more. Left, left, right. All right, shake that up now. Well done, everybody. You're doing great. Keep it going, okay? We're going to throw now right, left, right. So let's go back on the toes. Right, left, right. Now you got to twist into those punches.
Oh yeah,
okay?
you can see that your hips are moving, that you're not static.
Like I said, shake those hips like a bag of chips.
It is a complete, but boxing, it's entirely full body movement.
Everything. We do running, we do strength and conditioning, we do everything basically. It's an all-around kind of sport. Now, right, so we've done 2 combinations. We've done left, left, right, right, left, right. So we're going to try and bring them together.
Okay.
All right. Left, left, right, right, left, right. That's it. Left, left, right, right, left, right. Left, left, right, right, left, right.
I would definitely be saying that in my head. Like, I'd be like left, left, right. Because it's important, isn't it?
I think I always try to get people to say it out with me and to shout it with me. Because if you shout it, then you'll do it. Because sometimes people, they throw stuff that, if I'm saying left, they're throwing the right. You know, like,
but if you're saying it out, then you're going automatically. If you're going left, you're going to say left.
Yeah. One more. Right, left, right. Okay, shake it out, okay? Shake it out, shake it out. All right, next one is going to be left, right, and then we're going to throw a hook. A hook is around the side, okay? Around, so you're bringing it around, okay? Left, right, left hook. Left, right, left hook. Left, right, left hook. Left, right, left hook. 2 more. Left, right, left hook. 1 more. 1, 2, 3.
And do you know what the hook there now? Is it your elbows like almost like parallel to the floor? Because you know some people, they'll do a hook like that or they'll do a hook like that.
Well, you can. Like, there's all different types of hooks. Like, you can throw it down like that. You can throw an American style.
That was just really for me because I was just like, I want to know from the person like taking notes. You're going, okay, that's fine, just so that I know that.
Last one, okay, is going to be, we're going to squat down and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope you're doing this in your chair as well. And back down. 1, 2, 3,
I'm going to check to make sure Greg is doing it over in his chair.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shake it out. Okay, we're going to finish up with 3 sets of sprints on the spot while we're punching our hands with 10 seconds. So we'll get the countdown. You give me the countdown.
All right, okay.
Right, we're going for 10. Are we ready?
Ready.
Let's go.
3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my God.
We've 2 more. We've 2 more.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right, let's go. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And last one. Make it count now. Make the last one count.
Last one.
Okay,
Let's go.
and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes! Well done, Kelly Harrington. What a way to put us through our places. Between that and Greg's hit, if you don't feel the burn after that, I mean, I don't know. I feel that I need to go home now and do these because I feel really guilty just standing here having not taken part. So you as well can get these on replay. So if you didn't do it now and maybe you were just observing and seeing what Kelly was doing and you realise, I want to do that again, I want to try it again with my friends and family, you can go on to www.ndc.ie during the week and you will get all of these workouts and our demo later on replay. Thank you so much.
Well done, everybody.
To Kelly. I mean,
super
it's
stuff.
not every day that we get to be trained by Olympic hopefuls. So between yourself and Greg, hopefully we're going to see you in Tokyo next year. So very cool that you could be here with us this evening and take your time out. So thank you so much. Stay with us now as well because we are going to be getting to some of the questions that you asked, whether it was about healthy lifestyle, healthy diet, or some fitness tips and tricks. But right now, though, here is a quick message from the National Dairy Council and the European Milk Forum. You've hardly had a chance to actually gather your breath. This is the Q&A part, and we better allow you to have a glass of milk and just have a little bit of sup to get your breath back, because I want to introduce our third expert this evening, and that, of course, is Dr. Keelan Murphy. She's a dietitian and has a master's and PhD in sport and exercise nutrition. So I'm going to be asking your questions. I'm probably going to be asking 1 or 2 of my own as well to this panel here, because they are, of course, experts in the health, fitness and food sectors. Keelan is talking to us as well, I suppose, about gaining and maintaining muscle, aging, weight loss. So there's so many different questions that cover that. So I'm going to try and get to as many as I can in this portion. So thank you to the 3 of you for being here with us. I suppose let's kick off. And so this campaign, everything starts with milk. The importance of milk, and I suppose it's so versatile and so easy to add into our diets. Why did you get involved in the campaign? Kelly, do you want to start?
Yeah, like it's a really great campaign, and everything does start with milk, in my opinion, and that's not just saying it because I'm a part of the campaign. I start up, and the first thing I do in the morning is get up and have me bowl of porridge with milk, like, and then after training, the first thing I do is have me glass of milk after training. So it's a
really simple way to add it into your
It's so simple, like, and it's a massive part of my routine, my daily life. So. Yeah, it was something that I was really interested in. So,
and
as soon
Keelan,
as
we've got
around, I jumped on the chance.
Yeah, and Keelan, we've got a lot of questions in around how to lead healthier lifestyles and how to add in like just extra bits into our diet. And I suppose milk is a really easy way to get healthier and add in those nutrients.
Yeah, so the Department of Health recommends that we have 3 servings from the milk, cheese and yogurt group each day. So yeah, as part of a balanced diet, that contributes to our overall health. And milk is a really nutrient-dense food. It's hard to find another food that's quite as nutrient-dense.
Yeah, and it's a really quick, I mean, Greg, we saw you earlier on as well, you were sipping away on your glass of milk. You know, for a lot of you, you're busy, you lead like busy lifestyles. It's trying to get that balance then. Would you find it's something that you'd go into the shop and you'd buy your milk, or that you'd get your yogurt or your, you know, whatever it is on the go?
Yeah, well, that's a big thing for me, is that it's cheap. You can literally get it anywhere. Walk down the road, you'll be at a shop in 30 seconds. You can get a thing of milk, a little small one. And like Kelly, I was having milk all the way up as I was growing through all the ages into professional sport, and I was just having milk naturally without even thinking about it, in my porridge, in my smoothies, even just straight up glass of milk normally. And then as I came out of Love Island, a bit more of a following, linked up with National Dairy Council, I looked into it a bit more, and then get the knowledge behind it like you have, in that it just covers all your bases as well. It rehydrates you, it refuels you, it repairs your muscle, it's everything, and it's so cheap. So it's ideal really for a young sports person coming up.
Yeah. And Keelan, for people as well, even the importance of adapting that nutritional intake if you're involved in sport or exercise to help your performance.
Yeah, so for example, after exercise, nutrition is a really important part of recovery. So you need to think about the 3 R's, which are rehydrating, refueling and rebuilding. So yeah, dairy is certainly one of the good ways that you can do that. So you're getting the fluid from the milk, the bit of carbohydrate that's also in the milk, and then, as Greg mentioned, the protein in the milk, that's really important for helping your muscles grow and replace those damaged proteins and improve the performance.
So it is multi-purpose. Greg, there is a lot of questions coming in. I suppose the fact that you are currently injured, and I'm sure, Kelly, you can jump in this too, but just how to deal with setbacks, because for a lot of people, when everything's going according to plan and you're working towards your goals, it's great, but then suddenly something might happen, and say even for you, you're rehabbing now, and how, you know, you switch your mindset then to deal with setbacks. Like how do you cope with it?
Yeah, it is a tough one, and I've had plenty in my time. I'm sure Kelly has plenty in her time. It's a really tough thing to take mentally as well as physically, like, and you have to allow yourself to kind of have the few minutes, few hours of being upset, but then you have to get right on it, because your body needs to start recovering. Like, you need to start getting better. So a lot of people kind of be like, oh, I'm going to go do party and I'm going to not eat right. You need to get on it straight away, start getting the right in. Best way to do it, milk. And I'm not just saying it, it covers all your bases straight away. Start eating right, sleeping right, and get yourself on track, and give yourself mini goals. Like, don't be thinking, oh, I'm not going to be back for 2 months. I'm not going to be back for 2 months with this, but I'm thinking, oh, tomorrow morning now I'm getting off this brace. I'm going to be moving laterally next week after that. Like, little goals get you there, and eventually you'll be at the end line and you'll be back playing. So that's how I do it, little goals, and get back on it, because you need to get your body repaired.
That's it. Like you have 2 months off now. You're going to have 2 months off. The first 2 weeks, you will probably really focus in on your diet. It's all about rebuilding and recovering. So it's what you put into your body during that time as well. Like, and you're obviously not going to overdo it either, because your body needs to focus on this part to recover. You know, like, so if he's exercising as well, like, through that, and trying to rehab his diet is really important at this time, you know.
And of course, Keelan, one of your specialities is gaining and maintaining muscle. So like that, when you're stationary for a long period of time, then preserving that muscle is so important.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's important to think about all the different food groups. So the fruit and veg, whole grain carbohydrates, protein foods, so that's like meat, chicken, fish, peas, beans, lentils, dairy products, and they're going to be important for helping to maintain the muscle. And then you also have some healthy fats like olive oil or avocado, things like that.
And milk is a natural source of protein. I suppose for a lot of people now, protein is such a big thing, and there's so much talk about protein powders. But what are the best natural ways to add protein into your diet without necessarily using protein powders? Because not everybody has access to them.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people think that they need these protein powders to perform at their best, to maximise their gains in muscle, but really for the vast majority of us, it's very easy to get all the protein we need from food. And in fact, it's a much more nutritious way to get our protein. So the main protein foods are things like meat, chicken, fish, dairy products like yogurt, milk, cheese, plant-based sources like peas, beans, lentils and tofu. And the reason that I say it's a more nutritious way to get your protein is because if we take an example like whey protein, if you take a whey protein shake, all you're getting is that protein. But if you take a food-based source of protein, and I'm going to use milk as an example, then not only are you getting the protein, so the protein in milk is whey and casein, two high-quality proteins, so that's good for your muscle and helping it build, but you're also getting all the other beneficial nutrients that are in the milk. So things like calcium that are important for your bones and teeth, potassium that helps control your blood pressure, iodine, which is important for our thyroid hormones, which are really important for our metabolism, as well as a number of other nutrients. So you're getting a lot more bang for your buck, really. And then, as Greg said, they tend to be much less expensive than the protein powders, which are a bit of a rip-off.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we want. We want value for money here, quality and value for money. Greg, for a lot of people, there's some questions coming in about how they might have fallen out of love with exercise. And I know over the last few months we have had plenty of time, but not everybody jumped on the exercise bandwagon. Yeah. And some people can feel overwhelmed by the idea of starting. So maybe you're coming back from injury, or you come back from having a baby, or maybe you've just fallen out of love with exercise. Is there simple ways for people to get back on track? Yeah,
I think it kind of went one of two ways during COVID. People either got extremely fit, or they kind of just took the foot off the pedal and let themselves kind of relax for it, which is okay too. But you got to try and be healthy and try and cover all your bases. So what I would say is don't try and, as similar enough to the injury, is don't think of the end goal, little steps along the way. So maybe if it's next week, you're going to get out and go for a walk down the road. Perfect. All right, the week after that, go for 2 walks. The week after that, maybe break into a little bit of a run, and then drop sweets out of your diet. Then add that in little steps, and eventually you add them all up, baby steps. You're going to be there at the end, and it's the mini victories, and reward yourself as well. You don't need to be like a military soldier being like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I can't have fun, I must be miserable. No, have 3 good days in a row, get your cheat meal and have a bit of fun. Like it's not, you don't have to be miserable all the time. And a great way to recover again is the milk. You don't have to be spending loads of money on these fancy meals and ordering in stuff. Cover your bases, as you've alluded to there, that I was so interested in everything you were saying.
I was watching you were nodding continuously.
It's just the cheaper options are all there. You just need to kind of think about it and have a focus on that, and that's what we're giving to people here.
And Kelly, there was a good few questions coming in actually. How do you stay motivated?
I suppose, again, Greg's just gone over everything there. Goals, like short-term goals, and it doesn't have to be a goal towards like the Olympic qualifiers. It could be a goal with nutrition, for instance. 1 week I could slack, and the next week I need to pick it up because you are what you eat sometimes, so I suppose it's just small goals.
Yeah, the small, sustainable.
It keeps me on track, really, and I look at the smaller pictures rather than the bigger picture, because if you the bigger picture is really far away, and if you keep looking at that all the time, it's so far, you could get disheartened, so you just have to take it step by step, day by day, and build each day, and work on simple little things to make you a different Kelly Harrington every day, basically.
And that's so true, because sometimes people, you assume that top level athletes have these big, complicated goals, but I said it's as simple as just breaking it down, taking it day by day.
Keeping it real. You just have to keep it real and have the approach of not every day is going to be a great day, and you have to understand that it's not going to be a great day, and you can allow yourself to have bad days, because we have them. We're only human at the end of the day. We're athletes, but we're human as well, and it's the same as everybody else out there. You're human too, so allow yourself to have bad days, but don't allow yourself to stay down. You get back up and you go again. You rebuild, you refocus, and that doesn't have to be again in sport. It can be in anything in life outside of sport, in your daily jobs or anything. Just get back up and get going again.
A big thing I do, which really helps me stay focused, is I write it down. I write down what I want to do. I obviously have my big goals, but I write down what I want to do for a week. And you get a little dopamine hit. If you do that thing and you tick it off, the feeling I get from it was like, yeah, well done, girl, you got that. It's a little dopamine hit. You feel good about yourself when you go again. So, and especially if you write something down, it's kind of keeping yourself accountable. Especially then if you even tell someone about it, tell your brother, sister, your friend, you're going to do something, there's automatically you're accountable to it then. So that's kind of keeps me focused on a short-term basis as well.
And Keelan, I want to finish with you, just your tips as well around food, because sometimes people can be quite overwhelmed when it comes to, you know, there's like, oh, I'm going to go a clean slate, I'm going to go really healthy. Like 1 or 2 really simple tips that people can actually start using today.
Yeah, I think not trying to change the whole kitchen sink at the same time. So picking 1 or 2 small things. For example, fruit and veg, so important. We're recommended to have 5 to 7 portions a day, and 73% of people in Ireland don't eat enough. So even just try to have an extra piece of fruit as a snack, or have a piece of some portion of vegetables with your dinner, and then build on that. And every 2 weeks add something else, and just try to make small changes like that.
It's definitely a lot easier to add something in to your lifestyle than try and take something out.
Absolutely.
You're all nodding there, so because the idea of cutting something out, it can turn people off. Whereas if you're like, keep what you have and add in more fruit and veg, add in more milk, add in more exercise, it means then that it's an easier way, I think, to get your head around it.
100%.
Yeah, okay, well, we have certainly had plenty of tips and advice there. Kelly, Keelan and Greg, thank you so much for taking the time out to answer some of our questions. And now it's a little message from the people that have made all this possible. So it is the final part of our session, but I'm not going to lie, I'm quite enthusiastic about this because I find it easier to exercise than I do sometimes to think up of recipe ideas. And often this isn't my strong point. So this is the part I'm going to be watching closely. I'm going to need someone to give me a biro so I can actually write down some of my tips. Before we get into what we're about to do here, Keelan, talk to us about you're a dietitian and the importance of making sure that you source your information correctly when it comes to nutrition. You're nodding at me, so I believe that you think the same.
Yeah, this is a huge problem that we have at the moment. There's just so much misinformation out there, especially on Twitter. A lot of people that just aren't qualified, don't have, the correct information behind them, and they're just putting it out on social media. And I don't think that they're meaning to give out the wrong information, but it's not correct. So some good sources would be dietetics associations, so like the Irish Nutrition and Dietetic Association, the British Dietetic Association, or even a lot of nutritionists or registered dietitians will be on Twitter. So they're the ones to follow for the correct information.
And being a dietitian then, what's the favourite aspect of your job?
So I work in research now, and one of my favourite things is to just be at the cutting edge, to find out what all the new science is saying about nutrition and how it can improve human health.
Excellent. Well, we're going to get stuck into this now as well, because I have a good few questions as well, some of the ones as well that I never got to, that I'm going to start asking you here as well during this segment. But I suppose it's important now for us to talk exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yes, so today I'm going to make a banana and strawberry smoothie.
Ooh.
This is a good option if you have done a workout and you want a recovery snack, but it's going to be a few hours till your next meal. Now, if you did a workout and you're going to have your next meal in 1 to 2 hours, I'd say you're grand. Once your meal is well planned, that should be enough to help you recover. But if it's going to be a while, you could have something like this. So I have some strawberries here.
Lovely.
I have banana, I have some Greek yogurt and some low-fat milk. So this is going to provide also 2 portions of fruit, so that's going to help you towards your 5 to 7 portions of fruit and veg a day, and 2 portions of your dairy, so that's towards your target of 3 portions a day. So this is about this amount of yogurt that's in a small pot, and this is about a glass of milk.
Okay.
So it's really straightforward. I'm just going to throw these all in the blender, basically.
This is the great part, isn't it? Because you're always going, I hope this turns on. Yeah. I hope it works.
I
hope I don't blow up anything. So you can just blame me anyway, I promise it's all been tested before we used it. And this is a really easy way, just for people at home that mightn't particularly say like bananas or strawberries. Can you replace them with anything else?
100%. You can be totally creative and put in really whatever fruit you like in here. Like you could put in mango. So I'm actually using fresh fruit today, but frozen works really well. Yeah. It actually makes it really nice and cold and gives it a nice texture. And it's much more versatile because you can just keep it in your freezer and pull it out whenever you need it. Also, this is a really good one if you do like bananas in your smoothie. If you have bananas that are overripe or they're starting to go, you can just peel them, put them in the freezer, and you can just take one out whenever you need it.
Yeah, because I even know as well, one of my friends, she's not particularly a fan of yogurt, but she replaces the yogurt with milk. And she just, because she doesn't like the thicker consistency that sometimes comes from smoothies, so she puts the milk in instead and then just puts in more milk rather than having the Greek yogurt.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. So loads of things work in this. You can also put in chia seed or some kind of seed to add to extra fibre. Yeah. Or even some people put in oats if you want to make it more of a breakfast.
Yes. And it's really on the go. You could make this the night before. And you could actually then, because for a lot of us, if you're like me, you have a few minutes, you're like scrabbly out of bed in the mornings, and you already have whatever it is, whether it's a post-exercise or a breakfast ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can maybe throw it in a cool bag with one of those cool packs and keep it cold, so it's ready to go after your workout. So I'm going to blend this.
Okay. I apologise for the noise in advance. I promise it won't last very long. Oh, that looks great. And as well for people, like you've obviously have a blender here, not everybody has it, but I mean you could go in to your local shop, get a pot of yogurt, chop up your fruit in the car. I've done that in the past where I mightn't get home to actually make my meal. I might have forgotten my post-exercise meal, or I might have even just thought about it. And so you can go into the shop, really, really simple, and have it in one.
Oh yeah, there's nothing special about blending it up, and in fact having it as kind of a whole food. I've got a bit of chunk of banana in there. I'm going to give you this one.
No, you can give me. I love bananas. It's okay. I'm happy enough to munch on that.
Yeah. There's nothing special about blending it up. You can fruit and yogurt is just as good, and in fact sometimes it can keep you actually fuller for longer if you have it as whole food rather than as a liquid. So both work well. And
you mentioned earlier on as well about milk, how it's so hydrating. I actually didn't know that milk was more hydrating than water.
Yeah, so a lot of people, when they think about rehydration, they think about those carbohydrate drinks that you'd have after exercise, like a sport drink. The isotonics. And a group of researchers last year in Australia looked at all of the evidence that was out there. And what they found was that dairy-based drinks and milk are just as hydrating as these sports drinks, or in some cases were found to be even more hydrating. Yeah. So that's because they're providing the fluid and the electrolytes that help you to absorb the liquid.
And that's so important, because I think sometimes with those types of drinks, you don't know what else is in them. And if you're looking to be, whether you're an elite sports person or you're someone that's trying to stay healthy and get on that health bandwagon, it's really important you know what you're putting into your body.
Yeah, and I think for the general public, like a drink like this smoothie, it's much more nutritious than one of those sports drinks. Yeah. So it's a better option, really.
Now, a tip as well for people at home, because I've done this in the past, or maybe you have kids, you want to try and sneak in that extra veg, is you can add in things like spinach into this, and it adds it in, and it doesn't really give a taste.
Yeah, exactly. You don't taste it, and then you're getting one of your portions of veg in there.
And for a lot of people then too, the importance of that post-exercise meal, that it needs to include the carbohydrates and the proteins that makes, and obviously milk contains both of those, but it is making sure that you replenish your glycogen stores with the carbohydrates and then obviously the protein for the muscle recovery.
Yeah, so you're refueling, so that we're in this smoothie, we're getting some carbohydrate from the fruit and also from the milk and yogurt, and then you're getting the protein. So after you do a session of exercise, your rate of muscle building goes up, and that's going to help the muscle grow, it's going to help the muscle quality improve, but you need the building blocks in order to build that new muscle. So the building blocks are coming from the protein, from the milk and the yogurt. And in addition to providing the building blocks, they're actually providing a signal to the muscle to actually ramp up the rate of muscle building even further, so you're amplifying the effects of the exercise by having the protein after.
Now, I do as well want to touch on something, because you mentioned something really interesting earlier on about the 3 R's. Can you talk to people about that again, because that's really interesting?
Yeah, so when we talk about recovery nutrition, there are generally three important things to remember, and that's rehydrating, refueling and rebuilding. So the rehydrating, we're getting our fluid in here and our electrolytes, or if you're having your recovery meal, you could have just a glass of water with your dinner, then that's going to be rehydrating as well. You have your refueling, so that's your bit of carbohydrates. So when you do exercise, especially if it's high intensity, so like we had some high intensity exercise today.
I didn't do it now, I'm very guilty, but yeah, Kelly and Greg were putting us through our paces.
What's going to be fueling that exercise is carbohydrate. And that carbohydrate is stored around our muscles and in our liver. And because we'll have depleted some of that, we want to replace it with carbohydrate. So that's the refueling part. And so things like the fruit or the sugars in the milk, and then starchy foods is a source of carbohydrate. And then the last one was the rebuilding. So that's the protein that's going to send the signal to the muscle and provide the building blocks to build the new muscle. So if you drink that smoothie now, I think this is fascinating. In 3 hours' time, the protein from that yogurt and that milk is going to literally be in your muscle as a new muscle tissue.
Really?
Yeah. So you
that quickly?
literally are what you eat. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, in fairness, I would like to think I had a good basis, but I didn't know that. That's actually good to know. And it's good for people to know, as you said, you are what you eat. So it's spending that little bit of time prepping just to know, because I know myself, food influences my mood, it influences my energy levels. And I think sometimes when we think of a healthy lifestyle, we automatically go to fitness. But as Kelly mentioned earlier on, 70% is actually about the food. It's about what the fuel you're putting into your body.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people think about health eating and they think it's like broccoli and a piece of chicken with nothing on it. And that's not
this is
the
really
case.
tasty.
Exactly. And there's so many good recipes out there. If you look at websites like the Irish Nutrition and Dietetic Association or the NDC have recipes, or Safe Food. And yeah, just exciting ways to have a healthy diet. Because, yeah, it doesn't have to be broccoli and chicken.
And the last thing I want to ask you is, when it comes to myths around food, what is the one that you see that you would love to just scream and say, that is not true?
I really hate the one where people think that drinking milk leaches calcium from your bones. That is just absolutely not true. Dairy products are great for bone health, and that's one of the main reasons that they're so important in the diet, because they are such a critical source of calcium. So yeah, I hate that one. That's not true.
I couldn't imagine my life actually without dairy. Now, I grew up on a dairy farm as well, so I think, like my dad, it was always bred into us about the nutrients that are in milk, and it was just something that we always had. I think even as a sports person, I was always very aware even of my breakfast in the mornings, whether it was porridge or if it was fruit and yogurt, making sure that I was fueling myself. It's like a car. If you don't put like your petrol or diesel into your car, you can't expect to go from A to B. So if you don't fuel your body correctly, you can't expect it to perform, not even in a sports point of view, just like your everyday, your work, you're a parent, you know, you're a student, you're running your own place, you need your energy.
Yeah, so yeah, what you eat is firstly going to affect how hard you're able to train in your training sessions, and it's also going to affect how you adapt to that training session. So once the training session is done, what you eat can actually impact how well that training session converts into improved performance.
Yeah. Oh my God, I could listen to you all day. I'm definitely going to be picking your brain off camera, but I think we're just about running out of time. Now, if you do want to find more recipes, you can actually go on to www.ndc.ie, and there's a whole range of other recipes if you want to experiment and maybe you want to try new things, and this has just given you that little bit of a zest for, I want to get a little bit healthier with my food. And of course, this is all on replay as well. Again, go to www.ndc.ie this week and you'll be able to play back the recipe demo and some of the Q&A and our fitness demos as well. So that's all we've got time for. My thanks to Keelan. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us the wealth of information. And that is a wrap from everybody here. So from everybody, the European Milk Forum, the National Dairy Council, and of course the campaign Everything Starts with Milk. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you got plenty of tips and tricks and advice along the way. Stay well, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.